But the shift for so many people is now that real clarity and insight into I'm not accepting my life the same way it was, and I'm moving into a shift. Hi guys, it is late in the day on my Wednesday actually this week, and I thought I'd jump on earlier. Obviously, I'll pop this video up tomorrow, but it's been a really interesting week, and so I really wanted to get it fresh while I am just, going over the people I saw this week and just really getting a feel into what's been happening and what's going on. I just finished tonight a workshop that I did. So often the workshops that come up, because I write them pretty much in the day that I'm going to do them, reflect again what's been going on. So last workshop we did was confronting conflict, which is, really people now stepping into a new way of wanting to make a difference and support themselves and not going into old patterns where we suppress, our voice and what we want. And tonight we did recognizing toxic relationships, which is again quite liberating in being able to see the patterns that we've created, but more why we keep relationships that aren't particularly healthy for us and being able to make sure that we can step out to see them in a whole different light. So if you want, either of them or access to either of them, DM me because they'll be up from tomorrow because I process them and put them up on out. There's 63 workshops available, so it's pretty huge at the moment, but they're all great, all on different topics that help support us up. But let me get back to this week. I'm just going over some, beautiful people I saw and I write their names down because their stories are just so incredibly powerful. But the shift for so many people is now that real clarity and insight into I'm not accepting my life the same way it was, and I'm moving into a shift. There's lots of new beginnings, like new jobs, new moving, new courses, new things coming up that people have either fallen into or manifested in some way. And so new beginnings bring that new perception and new way of starting supporting ourselves totally differently. And so we're releasing old patterns and old ways and things that kept us stagnant, and we're moving into a really empowered way of thinking that we want more for ourselves. And that's, I think, it's kind of just starting to come together, but I get a inkling of what next year is going to look like emotionally. And I mentioned it today in the workshop that we did. This year was the year of authentic self. Next year, I think is going to be along the lines of this is how I support myself. And so we're not putting up with the old patterns that we used to or people treating us the way they did, which is why, recognizing toxic relationships is us doing that. I'm not putting up with people treating me how I shouldn't be treated. And this is really powerful stuff that we're moving into, and self-supportive and self-aware. It's so good. So in the people that I've worked on, there's, people creating or picking new challenges up that if they're asked to do something, they're saying yes to something they wouldn't even think that in a million years they would do, which could be, running something or the president of something or, speaking somewhere, or they're really shifting into their own power. And it's beautiful. It's saying no to old friendships and yes to new friendships. It's saying no to being in the same pattern in a relationship and more for them. I want to see this new course or this new job or this new direction that I'm going in. It's been a